Hi everyone, I'm just getting everything set up, so I've come on just a few minutes early, so bear with me for 1 minute so I can get this, see if I can get this on my other phone so I can see the comments properly, but I'm not quite sure if that's going to work. So I don't think I'm going to be able to do it for some reason. That's all right. It happens that way for me sometimes. Just can't quite work out how to do this. No, and I'm not even going to try because it's too hard. Put it in the hard basket. Okay, how's everyone going? Well, sorry about yesterday, but yesterday I had been working on some projects and I had so much on my table and I thought, you know what? It's easier to cancel my classes and bring them over to today than to try to pack everything up and then to bring it all back in. When you're having a big prep day, I don't normally prep on a Thursday, but I had started prepping Wednesday afternoon after we got home from our paper punching lunch. And then I was still going Thursday, so I thought, change things quickly. But today we're doing a beautiful scrapbook for Christmas. Yay! Who loves Christmas? And we're using this beautiful paper, but I'm cut out little bits of the trees and the bird and different parts out of this paper so that I can use it for my embellishments, because I just love this paper, honestly. And then I'm also going to go with the gingham for the background. Now, I was going to do a whole background of plaid in the grey granite, doing my own plaid paper, but it was taking too long. And I thought, no, this is too long. Let's just compromise here. So I thought, well, I can either go on a nice white background, or I can come in on a gingham background, because the gingham's really pretty as well. I love the gingham paper. This is the in-colour gingham. I love that it's got the small on one side and the large on the other. So you can use whichever you choose. And I decided to go with the 21 by 21 square and make my own plaid up, which I'm going to do one row to show you how I did that. I did some, and then I'm going to also use the red side of this designer series paper. It comes out of the same pack, so it comes out of the Stitch Seasons one. It's absolutely beautiful. I love this. So for those of you who come on and you don't know me, my name's Teresa Brown. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator from Warragul in Victoria, and have been for just coming in very soon to 20 years with Stampin' Up, and I'm so excited. I love that I still love doing what I do today as what I did 20 years ago. I still love to share, and I think my favourite thing about watching all the ladies over the years is seeing the expression on their face for the first time when they make a card or a scrapbook page or a box, and they've never done it before, and they go, oh wow, you know, because they're excited, but they're not sure whether they can do it. When you're following someone step by step, you can always change it, so remember to make it your own. You don't have to, I'm just going to swipe my screen. Sorry about my finger if it comes in. Swipe. Okay. If you come on, don't forget to say hello and say where you're from. So let's get down, because we've got a lot to do on this scrapbook page. So let's get started. Now, I'm just going to pull this up a bit to make sure that you can see what I'm doing. Now, in this beautiful stitch stocking Christmas one, it's like got a little plaid stamp here, which is absolutely gorgeous. And I really did want to do like a little plaid background, which I sort of did on my background in my graphic, but then I realized it was going to be a lot. So I'm just going to come in here. So what I actually did is I actually drew out my squares at 3.5. So they're all 3.5 across, and then I ruled across them, or scored them, whichever way you want to go. And then got this little stamp, which is absolutely beautiful, and just coming up in between those score lines, which is really, really great. Okay, it just gives you a bit of a guide. And look, if they're not spot on or straight, it gives a bit of character to your page, so don't worry about that too much. So we've got a bit of plaid happening in there because that's what I really wanted, was a little bit of plaid happening in there. So let's come down with our page. Now, I'm going to pop this on because this is where I wanted this to come on. I wanted this to come on here. And I'm sort of thinking, put it more in the center, about there, I think. Okay, that looks pretty awesome. So we're going to come in with our liquid glue because this is acid-free. We do want acid-free glue when you're doing your scrapbooking, so your photos don't turn yellow. You do not want your photos to turn yellow after you've done a beautiful lot of work on your page. So this is coming in roughly about there, I think. Okay, that's pretty awesome. That's pretty good. And then I've got my little red strip. Now, if you don't want it exactly 7 centimeters wide, you don't have to. If you've only got a scrap that's 3 centimeters wide, use that. Don't throw it away. Use it. You know, use whatever you have. You can cut this in half and use half for the other side of your page as well if you've only got the color once. Okay, so it's important to check out what colors you've got. If you're doing a double page and you've only got the one, like you've only got this one piece, I would definitely measure it up. I think it's about 7, this piece, and cut it at 3.5, so that you've got the same happening if you want over on your second page. Okay, so that's what I would do. Just sort of, you know, make sure that your pages are going, they don't have to be exactly the same, but they've got the same sort of colouring in. So you can come in with this beautiful paper wherever you want to come in with it. Like, you know, you can come in with it up high, you can come in with it down low. It just depends what you want to do. It is the same length across as your 12 by 12 paper that you get in your pack. Okay. So we're going to put this piece down. I love that we do have designer series paper on both sides, but you can choose which side that you want to use. And I'm going to go with this one, I think about here. Okay. Now I'm doing a family page today, so I got the big alphabet die out. Oh my God, I love this big alphabet die. Let me grab it. I've got it over here somewhere. That's the banner one. Here it is, up on my bench here. So we've got the big alphabet. It's the party alphabet. These are amazing. Have a look how big these are. They are really, really big for scrapbooking, and I love this because you can do it in designer series paper, you can do it in plain paper, you can do it in just anything. You can emboss it. You can do so many different things with that. Okay, so I have done mine. I've cut them out. So I've got my F. I'm going to just put it across here. And I've got my A, and I've got my... And I wasn't sure whether I wanted green, white, or a combination of a shadow, which I'm sort of liking that idea of the combination of a shadow. So I'm sort of going to just go like that for the moment. And I'm just going to see where it goes on my page. So on my graphic, I sort of did a white one, and I sort of did a green one, just so you can sort of see what you want to do. You know, you might want to do a white one, green one, or you might want to mud it like this, do a bit of a shadow. So we're going to go through FAM, and we've got our eye. And the eye can even be a completely different color because it's a little eye in the big letters. Okay, and then our L, and then our Y. So I'm just seeing that sort of fits in quite well here. So I'm going to start over with my F, and I'm thinking I'm going to do a shadow effect. I like the idea of having this shadow effect happening. So you get the white and the green. So I'm just going to add a little bit of glue on here. Sorry about my hand. I don't know why that come up again. Okay, so I'm just going to add a little bit of glue on the inside edge, like this. And I'm going to grab my F, and I'm going to put this on here. Move it around a little bit until you get it to how you want it. So that's then going to go on here, and I think I might raise these up a little bit because I think they'll look good, but I'm going to stick them on each other first. So we'll do this. You don't want to do up the very top or on that left hand side. You want to come more into the center of this because you want to move it around. You can move it around a little bit, which is good too. Okay, so we've got FA. I like the white backing on it. What do you think? Tell me in the comments, what do you think? I like the little shadow effect. Now, just remember, not on the left-hand side of anything, so a little bit down. I sort of like to come through into the center. Then we know we're going to not touch it. Okay, so we've got this shadow effect happening. I actually like that. I think it highlights it more than just the green. And if you wanted to, you could even run all that through an embossing folder as well. So let's go with the white, the eye. So what did everyone get up to yesterday? Well, I was busy working and not videoing. Yeah, I had to make that choice, and I thought, oh my God, I'm going to have to make the choice of packing up. Oh, there was too much. Too much packing up. When you start a project, it's quite funny sometimes. You just need to keep working on it. Who does that? Is anyone else like that? Like when you start on something, you think, oh, I've just got to finish that. I can't pack it away until I finish it. Because if you do, you know that you're going to either lose a piece or it's not going to be the same because your concentration runs away. Then we're going to, and now we do our Y. I'm excited about doing the decoration embellishments with the paper. I saw that and I went, oh my God, I just love that we can use that on our embellishments. I love that idea. Okay, let's move that one down a little bit. Okay, so we've got our family on here. It's a lot easier to also line up once you've got it on there as well. So I'm just going to leave that there for a minute while I work out what I want down here. And I've cut out 2 blue squares because this is what I've sort of done up on my graphic. Okay, where did I put those paper snips? Oh, that's right. I had a box of stuff come in this morning and I moved them again. Always moving them. Okay, so I'm going to cut out this little blue square. This was out of the paper. Okay. And I'm going to use this as well. I'm going to use, so many different things here. I just think they're going to look absolutely gorgeous. So this one's going to sort of come into the corner. It's going to come off here, or you can bring it onto here. But I'm going to come off the side a little bit. So I'm going to come in like this. I think about there. And then I'm going to do this one. I just stab myself. These scissors are so sharp. And I just, look at that. Just stab myself with the scissors. Very easy to do. Just be very careful with the scissors. They are very sharp. Okay. Now I'm going to sort of keep this one plain like this. Just wipe that on a tissue. Okay, gonna have that bit down there. And then I sort of went with, wasn't sure if I wanted the snowflakes or the flowers. And I'm looking at my paper and I've got 2 flowers and 1 snowflake left. Another flower left, so I'm gonna go with the flowers. So I'm gonna take out this one here so that they're the same. And I'll put the snowflake away for later because I'm quite sure I'll use that. So I'll just use the 2 that are the same. And I'll probably use the snowflakes. You've got 2 sheets in each pack, so you'll be able to do your other side the same, or you can bring it in similar. Okay, so we're going to do that, but I'm going to also just cut in the center here, and then I'm just going to cut from the point to that center, and to the point to that center. Did I cut the center up enough? And just have a little bit of a arrow here. So we're going to put this one, well, before I do this, I must remember to put my photos on, like my images for my photos. So let's do that first because this is going to make a big difference to where I line things up. Now these white squares, I think if I remember 8 by 8 and 8.5 by 8.5 in the garden green. Let me just measure that. Yeah, 8.5 by 8.5 in the garden green. Yes, we better get these on first, I think, so that we can measure everything to our photos. Otherwise, we're going to have everything in the middle of the page. It's going to be a bit funny, yeah. So I just like to do a 0.5 matte around mine. So it makes it small, 0.5. So we're going to go with that. We're going to go with that. You can have them go up a bit. You can have them go down a bit. I might bring these up just a fraction. We'll work it out. Don't you just love working out a scrapbook page? I do. Hi Betty, how are you? Good to see you on. Thank you for everyone for coming on, and don't forget, if you're watching the replay, to put replay so that I know that you watched the replay. So when I'm writing up the tickets for our gift giving, you get included, because sometimes I think I've included everyone and then I haven't because the replay is there. So let's work out where we're going to put our photos placements first. So I think one there, and I think we'll come in the same on that side. So let's go up just a fraction, and then this one in here. Okay, so let's go. Let's start on the right hand side here and pop these down. Now I know we don't get a lot of time. I know half an hour goes pretty fast. I'm just trying to work out. I think I'll have them up a bit higher because we've got the family underneath. So I think I'm going to have them up about there. Okay. Put this one in a minute. I'll just get this one sorted. And we're sort of coming in. I like to make sure that I've got the same on this side. So about there, I think. And then we'll put this one into the middle. Making your own background paper is really lovely as well, especially if you want to do a design and you can't find the paper in it. You can always make your own up. Okay, so we've got our pictures here, and then up the top here I want these ones. I'm going to cut these little square bits out. These are perfect. You could use a punch if you wanted to, but look, fussy cutting on these little ones isn't hard. It doesn't take you too long. Probably take you longer to get your machine out, find a punch. So this one's going around here, I reckon. Now you can have it going under here a little bit. That's why I didn't sort of glue completely to the top yet. So you could have this going in here and this going in here. So you could do that if you wanted to. So let's bring it up to that green. So I want this a little bit past about there, I reckon. And then we want this one. Now you can do wings on both sides or cut both sides. I don't think we're going to see much of the other side, so let's put that there. And then we're going to come in with a Christmas tree. Now we've got a Christmas tree here, so we're going to cut out the Christmas tree. And we've got some of these, I cut these out of another set. These were out of the Notes of Collage dies. Now you can use whatever you've got, but I just sort of thought it would give it a little bit more of a feel. And you can cut these down to the size that you want as well. So you can cut these down to the size that you want. So I'm sort of thinking, let's bring that out there. Okay, we're going to cut out our bird, and then I'll do the Christmas tree. So we're going to cut out the bird. I love that they're all straight lines when you're cutting out. There's not much curving in these. Very well designed, especially for fussy cutting. I nearly said the wrong word then, didn't I? Especially for fussy cutting. Okay, come down here. And you can sort of see these are made sort of like from little triangles. It reminds me of patchwork. I used to do a lot of patchwork sewing many years ago, but oh, I love paper craft so much more now these days. Okay, and then we're going to cut down here. So we've got our little bird here, and I'm going to use a dimension behind our bird. I'm just going to use a big dimension. So I'm going to just use one here because I want to be able to tuck things around it if I want to. So this one's sort of coming in. I think it's going to be sitting up more this way, up here like this, because we're going to have the star. So I'm going to have this sitting up here, and I'm going to have this coming out sort of here. But I'm not going to stick it yet because we're going to put this one on here as well. Now you can layer these up if you want to. You can cut one and then cut another one the same and layer them up, but I don't think we're going to get time to do that today. And I'm going to just do the one layer. But it would look really pretty if you did layer it up. You could even add Winker Stella on them and make them really sparkly too if you want them a bit sparkly. That'd look nice as well. Yeah, there's lots of different things that you can do. You could even put a brad in the center if you wanted to change the look again. There's lots of different ideas, little gold nuggets there that you can do. Now just remember that my sketch page is just a sample. When you look at it, you'll see it's got family written on it twice, one in white, one in green, just so that you can sort of see whether you want to do a white one, a green one, or whether you want to do what I did and do it as a shadow. Sketches are fantastic to get the mojo or your creative mind working, so that you've got something as a guide to start off with, because that's sometimes what all we need is that piece to start off with. So we're going to come in with this here. This is going to come in here. So we're going to put a dimension behind this one. And this one's sort of coming in around here, which is really cute. I think we will go in around that way. So he's sitting a little bit on an angle there because he's red. And then we're going to do that Christmas tree. Don't you love that you can use these for your embellishments? I was looking at the paper yesterday when I was doing some projects yesterday, and I was thinking, oh my God, how wonderful is this paper? With all the different little embellishments on it, I'm thinking to myself. And then I thought, I changed my scrapbooking page around because I had was going to do a different one. And then I thought, you know what? I'm going to do this one. It's funny how your mind just changes things around because you can see something different. And that's what I'm saying about your mojo too. When you're seeing my page, you're going to see maybe something completely different again. So, and what a beautiful thing to do, but get your Christmas photos already done from last year if you haven't done them, or you can be ready to put your photos on this year. So we've got a Christmas tree here, and I'm sort of looking that I want to put another little one up here, so I can bring that in behind all three because I haven't glued all that, remember. I want it to go down a little bit. So I can have that coming out through there, which I like that idea. Okay, so I can just put little bits of glue dots on the back of this. Okay, wipe my top. Where's that? If you haven't got something to wipe it, just grab a piece of designer series paper or cardstock to get the end, that bubbly bit off the end, so that when you squeeze it, oh, come on, do it over here. There you go. I don't like doing it onto the paper because you can sometimes just over glue it. So I'm just going to pick it up from my glass mat, and then I can wipe my glass mat. So just little dots. Okay, that's perfect because you don't need a lot. And just push it down. Oh, well, we'll push it on the side. It wants to go that way, so it can go that way. And then we're going to put a dimension behind our little Christmas tree. Hi Robin, good to see you come on. It's nice to see people pop on. Sorry about yesterday, guys, because yesterday was just one of those busy days for me. So I'm just going to bring this Christmas tree in here. About there, I think. I love that we can use that for embellishments. And then I'm going to cut this little white bit here because I want a little bit of a white to just come in under here as well, just to bring that up. So a little bit on here. I hope you can see what I'm doing. Okay, I'm not going to lift it because if I lift it, what am I going to do? I'm going to end up pushing the family down. So we're going to bring the family up here. And I wonder if it will fit on here, on this grey bit. Let's just see. Oh, it keeps moving. Around that way. And then that one, and then that one. It is. So I'm going to start on my left side with the Y. I was going to raise it up, but I'm going to raise the embellishments up. So I'm just going to stick this down. So we're going to start right on the edge here. Okay, then this one. And then this one. Our eye. You could even put a love heart or something for your eye as well, like for the top. And then our M. This is going to be a cute, cute, cute Christmas page. And our A. And like I said, you could put these through an embossing folder if you wanted to. I'm keeping this pretty plain today so that it's easy to follow. And then our F. So we've got our family on there. Because I always think the first thing you do when you're at Christmas is that you take family photos, don't we? A good one to start with, family. Okay, now we're going to come in down the bottom here and we're going to bring in these ones down here. I think these are going to have to move down a fraction. So we're going to move these ones probably just underneath there like that. Okay, I'm sort of thinking. And then we've got our little square one there. I'm just going to finish cutting the tree. I'm just going to put a few. And then we've got a parcel, but I want the parcel to go the opposite way. So what I'm going to do is I want it to go a long way. So I'm going to go like this. And I'm actually going to cut that bow off the top, off the side there, because I want this to be a longer piece. Okay, I think we'll stick as we go. It'll make it a lot easier to stick as we go. So we're going to stick a little bit of the green and the white. So These are really cute because you can use them for anything. So let's go with sticking these down, but I'm just sticking in the, gluing in the middle section so I can poke things into them. So this is going to go here. And this one's going to go next to it here. And then I'm going to add a little bit of white. A little bit of white coming through. I think coming up onto that piece there would be nice because we're going to bring this in here. And this is going to come up here like this. So glue this bit. I know we're going to go a little bit over time, guys. Sometimes it might be half an hour, sometimes an hour with the scrapbook page. Sometimes it's just hard to do it in that time frame of half an hour. So we're going to put that there. And I want that parcel, see, I want that parcel to go in under here. Yeah. So I'm going to put a little bit in the center. It's good to just glue in the center because then that way if you want to change things around, you can. I want that little parcel there. And then I'm going to bring in the tree, which I haven't finished cutting. And like I said, it's just virtually straight lines, which is really good. Just be careful of the pointy scissors because they do cut you if you poke yourself. Come down here. Okay, and then our tree is going to come down around here. I think around like that. So I'm going to put the tree on a dimension just so it raises up over this bit. I think the tree looks good there. And then we're going to also take these little bits out of the green. And come on, baby, don't do that to me. Oop. You just want a tiny little bit of glue. Spread it around. That can come up out of the parcel there. That side there. And we're going to just grab another one of them to raise up. Remember I said it would look really good raised up. So we're going to grab another one of them. Now I want to share with you how I cut the middle out. It's not hard to do the middle. You don't have to use a knife if you're one of those people that don't like using craft knives. Some people go, I don't really like using the craft knife, and I can understand that. So we can cut it out exactly the same if we want to, like this. So what I do is I just fold it and put a snip in it. Okay, so you get a little snip happening here and come across and to your edge. And then just you can cut straight up your edge. And this way you can cut your middle out without using paper or a paper knife, like, you know, your blades. So and then just come down. You can come down through there and cut that bit out. And that's the good thing about it. Once you get it sort of cut, you can just sort of cut from the top and cut down those pieces there. So they're nice and straight. Cut out the little piece here. And then straight across the bow there, and then straight up on both sides, and then across. Now this is going to raise up this time. Oh, we've got our bow down the bottom. Oh, that's a different pattern, but that's okay. It doesn't matter if it's a different pattern. We're just going to get our little ones. If you wanted, you can always cut in between them two, but that'd be a lot of work. So it's entirely up to you how much you want to do on your scrapbook page. So I'm just going to put a couple of little ones here. And I know I took the top off one of them, so I'm going to grab that one and grab the one next to it. Oh. I want it pretty solid, so I'll put a few extra dimensions behind it. These are the tiny little dimensions. The white come in a pack by themselves, the same as the big whites, but if you're ordering black, the black, you get the big and your small ones in the same pack, which is a good idea too. I do have the black ones as well, because if I'm doing black, if I'm working on black paper, I like to have the black. So that one's going to raise up there. And how cute is that? You can even bring in another little bird here, and you could bring another little bird in down here if you wanted to. Okay, let me bring this up. Let me hold this up. How gorgeous is that? Using the paper for our embellishments. How gorgeous. I hope you enjoyed today. Thank you for the love hearts, and I hope you enjoyed today. And we will see you tonight for Crafty Thursday on a Friday at 7 o'clock. Bye for now. Thank you for joining me.